All right, President Biden says aid is not getting into Gaza fast enough. The president spoke with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu yesterday and brought up the need to keep humanitarian assistance flowing into the territory. Trucks of aid began moving into Gaza from Egypt on Saturday, but UN agencies say more is needed. I want to turn now to CBS News chief White House correspondent Nancy Cortez, who joins us now. Nancy, it's great to see you. So the president was pretty clear today. He was blunt to say it wasn't happening fast enough in terms of aid flowing into Gaza. But it's not like the administration can flip a switch and turn that aid on. So what are they saying about trying to pick up the pace here?
Well, you're hearing universally from White House officials that they agree with the president. They don't think that the aid is moving fast enough. In fact, they said today no trucks made it into Gaza after the humanitarian effort began in earnest over the weekend. And that's for a variety of reasons, most notably the fact that it's a conflict zone. And so it's dangerous for those trucks and those drivers to get into Gaza and make sure that the food and water and medicine gets to the people who need it the most. And in fact, today, White House officials started embracing what they described as a humanitarian pause, which is exactly what it sounds like, a pause in the barrage of rockets from Israel so that there is time for this humanitarian aid to get into Gaza. They say that's very different from a ceasefire, which is something that Hamas has been pushing for in exchange for releasing more prisoners. They didn't go as far as to say that they are urging Israel to take this humanitarian pause, but they said it's something that they're open to.
Today, Secretary of State Antony Blinken spoke at the UN Security Council. Can you tell us more about what message he communicated about this crisis?
Yes, at the United Nations, Weija, he made the case that a broader conflict in the Middle East that starts to bring in other countries would be devastating, not just for Israel, not just for the Palestinians, but for the wider region. And he argued that Iran's proxies, these militant groups that are funded and encouraged by Iran, are increasingly targeting U.S. troops in the Middle East, particularly in Iraq and in Syria. And he urged any country with any leverage over Iran to push Iran to stop encouraging those attacks. This is a major concern, Weija, here at the White House. One of the biggest reasons that they're worried about the possibility of a ground invasion by Israel into Gaza, because they fear that that will only prompt terrorist groups, militant groups backed by Iran to increase their drone attacks and their rocket attacks on U.S. bases in Iraq and in Syria.
And given those concerns, Nancy, I wonder what the White House is doing, if anything yet, to prepare for a bigger conflict there. Because since day one, that is something President Biden has warned about, the very real possibility that this could spill over. And of course, there are so many Americans living in that region. So are they doing anything in case?
They're doing a lot. First of all, they are moving equipment, weaponry, ammunition into place. We know that they've moved several carrier strike groups into position, the Persian Gulf, into the Eastern Mediterranean. They're putting air defenses in place near these small U.S. bases in Syria and Iraq. And they've begun to make initial preparations for the possibility, they say it's just a possibility, but they need to be prepared, that thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of Americans, in the worst case scenario, need to be evacuated from the region.
Thank you so much, Nancy Cortez.
You're welcome, Weija.